Hello, this is your RPG Archivist, and as promised, Death, Frost, Doom. Take 5, 6, I don't know. Let's see how this one works out. Been having a lot of trouble getting this one done, guys. I'm not even going to get into it, since so many things have happened. However, I think this time we may, in fact, finally have it. So Death Frost Doom is a adventure for Lamentations of the Flame Princess, weird fantasy role-playing. Let's read the back. Let's see here. Death Frost Doom is the legendary adventure that introduced the world to the mind-bending and merciless fantasy of Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Since 2009, this exploration of a death cult's abandoned shrine has been used to start and end campaigns all over the world. An adventure suitable for low-level characters for use with Lamentations of the Flame Princess weird fantasy role-playing and other traditional role-playing games. And by traditional, they probably mean OSR games like BX Essentials, Tunnels and Trolls, etc. And who knows, you might even be able to put something together for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, too. But I'm not going to do that. Whenever I run this, it's got to be Lamentations all the way. So, what is this book? This is the 10th anniversary edition. Look at this. Look how nice that is. This has got this really soft velvety cover. And of course you see this blue Death Frost Doom looking thing here. I like that. This is also a hardcover. Listen, it's hardcover. That's something I kind of like about Lamentations of the Flame Princess. I know it adds to the price. I know they could probably make like super cheap versions of paperbacks of these, but for some reason, I don't mind paying $25 for a nice thin adventure in a hardback. I like that. So, Death Frost Doom. What's it about? Well, the back pretty much told you everything you want to know. It's in effectively 4 parts. You've got your the trip there, and I'm also going to include the graveyard and the cabin. It's got this feel of being very isolated, which is great because this really does feel like a horror game. It really does. If you were to switch out your heroes for like some schmucks with some teenage schmucks from, let's say, Friday the 13th, yeah, this would definitely be a horror game. Of course, they wouldn't get past the cabin. Not that it's dangerous, that they'd probably bug out really quick after all the weird stuff starts happening. So, you've got the cabin, got that Evil Dead feel, then you go down into the shrine, and then there's also the crypts, and then there's also all this stuff with all the weirdness over here, which is the main event, assuming they even get that far. I've described this as Tomb of Horrors with the gloves off. And when I say with the gloves off, I'm not talking about the lethality, though there are some lethal traps in this game. But they are easily avoided by not doing dumb things. Seriously. This game, I'll tell you what, let's flip through it. I read this and I was hooked almost immediately. A little table of contents. Yeah, this is, of course, the latest edition of Death Frost Doom, and it gives a little thing on it and some of the changes they made. Nice pic of Ezekiel. It's a character you may or may not meet in the game. You could drop Death Frost Doom into any game, just anywhere that has mountains. you could probably drop this game into that. Got the graveyard. Interesting thing about the graveyard, you have stone, what do you call them, markers. But they didn't start out stone, they were actually wood. They started out wood. For some reason, there's an effect here that will petrify all wood. Which I think, ooh, that's a creepy, nifty little effect. But then it occurred to me, they probably did that to keep the players from burning the cabin down. If that doesn't scream Evil Dead, I don't know what does. I like that pick. Let's see. There's some good stuff in the cabin, some interesting stuff. There's the little entranceway. There's multiple entrances into the shrine, by the way. This is just the most obvious. Flip some more. I'm just going to flip a little bit more. Every time I've done this, I've taken too long and something's happened. So I'm actually going to probably rush this a little bit. Yeah, there are things down there. Spoilers. I did it again. Every single time I've tried to film this, I've said spoilers right out the beginning. Every single time. This time I didn't do it, and wouldn't you know it, this looks like this might end up being the take that's going to work. Anyway, so yeah, drop this anywhere that has mountains, particularly snow-peaked mountains. This happens at the peak of one said mountain. So the Duvin Coup. This is one of the spoilers I was telling you about. The Duvin Coup, that's the name of the cult that used to be part of the shrine. The Duvin Coup. Now, I'm going to go back to that comment I made about, because I just realized I didn't finish that thought. Yeah, I do not have a structured mind. It's a miracle I ever became a game master. The Duvin Coup, a nasty, nasty cult. And when I said that Tomb of Horrors with the gloves off, it's not because of the lethality. Now I'm going to try and finish that thought. It's because of the just WTF of it all. It's pretty sick, guys. You've played adventures where, oh, we're an evil cult and ooh, scary. We're the bad guys and we do things that are bad and we summon demons and blah blah blah, and you really don't get a sense that they're. Let me give you an example. Horde of the Dragon Queen for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So there are these dragon cultists, and I've played with 2 different groups. I haven't ran the game, but I played as a player, and I never got the impression that they were anything but people with an ideological disagreement with the rest of the world. They think dragons should rule everything. It's a dumb idea, granted, but they think dragons should rule everything. And they're not particularly... They're evil, but how much more evil than your average tyrant? The Duvin Coup are evil. There are things in this book that only the game master is going to be privy to. The players are going to have to piece things together. This is some gruesome stuff. And, yeah. So, yeah, this is a creepy, horror-filled adventure that is good. I'm looking forward to running this. I know I've said in the past, and I still stick to it, you don't really know how well an adventure is going to go until you've ran it. That's why I call these read-only reviews, to preface that I haven't actually ran it. But I have confidence that this is going to be a booger bear for the players, a real challenge. I'm not so sure if I want to start my level 1 players in on this, because if I'm starting them at level 1 and they do manage to make it out, I would be tempted to continue running an entire campaign with them trying to figure out what to do afterward. No spoilers there. I might wait until maybe level 3. I don't know. I'm going to have to read my other Lamentations adventures. I've got lots that I haven't even touched yet. I'll have to make that decision. But in the future, I'm going to be using this as a yardstick for a couple of other adventures. Anyway, I just passed the 10-minute mark. It looks like this is a keeper. Yay! Anyway, this is your RPG Archivist saying see ya before something else happens.